Last semester I took a linguistics class, and in it I learned a lot about how different languages form words and the letters that they use and the different sounds that are used, and how there's a certain number of sounds that humans make and they just happen to fit together in certain ways, and not everyone correlates to a different letter, and some kinds of letters produce different sounds. And basically what I'm trying to say is that words are so cool and weird and unique, and honestly, like, okay, this is a phone, right? What makes it a phone? Well, it's a phone because it's a telephone, which means sounds across, something like that, right, in Greek? But what made those words mean that in Greek? Like, we have that in English, right? I mean, and even in Spanish, it's a teléfono. Like, and this is a squirrel. What is a squirrel? It's an animal, a small fuzzy animal that climbs up trees. Words are weird. Somehow we're able to take a sound and assign it to a letter, and then put each letter together and those sounds put together to make a word which represents something. And in our brains, we're able to decipher exactly what that means. We assign it to a certain picture or a certain action, or even if it's not something that we pictured, like or but, we know exactly what it means. We're able to fit into a sentence denoting some sort of meaning. And so, like, the dog jumped over the fence. What does that mean? It means a small furry animal ran and lifted his front legs up and then his hind legs up and then landed over the other side of a barrier. Even those words that I just used, it's just another way of saying that, but somehow we're able to communicate with each other with these words and these sentences. And then those sentences we put into paragraphs, and we create scenes, and those scenes put together we're able to make books and novels and stories. And even before we had written language, we were creating these things, and somehow, some spectacular way, we're able to put all these words and sounds together into a story that we can just delve into. We can hide and find ourselves in a totally different world, a world that's just completely separate from where we're at right now. I just think it's so incredible that words are able to carry us so far, and we can just imagine so much just from the words that we're familiar with, and even those that we're not, just from our intuition. And what's also interesting about words is that we can tell what's a word and what's not a word simply by the parameters of a language, which basically, like, in English, you can't put three sounds right next to each other, three consonant sounds right next to each other. Like the TCH, ch, like, that has basically one sound, right? Two at most. But we can't put three consonant sounds right next to each other. Other languages can do that. But because of that, there's a lot of words that we can't say with English. And that's just one example. There's so many different parameters for each language. And then, but at the same time, every language has words. Every language has some way to break up communication into these small pieces, these individual multi-sound words which represent something. And then every language is able to tell stories with those words. No matter what kind of language it is, no matter how different it is from the language we're using right now. And I just think that is so important. We can tell each other things, we can talk, we can share, and we can express our emotions, our feelings. We can express things that have happened in the past or things we're scared about in the future with words. Pictures might be able to do that as well, but the interesting thing about words is that we're able to remember and to come up with more meanings of things because of words. And one of the possible reasons for infantile amnesia, which is why you can't remember things before the age of 3, is because small children have not yet developed a language. And because they haven't developed a language, they're not able to maintain the memories and the thoughts in their brains. So yeah, next time you read a book, think about how incredibly cool it is that you're reading these letters and forming the sounds in your brain, and you're taking this word that is basically just symbols, like runic lines and symbols that really could mean nothing but mean so much, and you're putting them all together, and each word you're fitting into the sentence beside it, and it's every time you read that word, it's going to mean something different because it's in a different sentence, it's in a different context, and you adapt the connotation of that word just by the context that's surrounding it, by the sentence, the other words, and the paragraph, and the story, and yeah, I just think that's so neat. And I just wanted to share that incredible thought with you guys. I hope you guys are all as fascinated with words as I am. And if you were already, I hope you are now. And you just really appreciate how incredible a gift they are. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all soon with another video. Bye!